actually don't want to do this anymore.
Me. It sounded like somebody was screaming bloody murder. It sounded like a human.
On October 27, 2024, a video uploaded by YouTuber Gaz from the channel Grizzly Gaz quietly spread across horror communities online. At first glance, it looked like another late-night exploration video. Another man walking through dark woods chasing internet legends. But as more people watched the footage, many began saying the same thing. Something about that forest felt wrong.
Normally, I take comfort in places like these that are miles away from civilization, but because of all the stories that I've read and the documentaries that I've watched on this place, I'm not looking forward to tonight. If I'm honest. And you might have noticed that I'm also keeping my voice down. I don't know why. I try not to attract attention, maybe that's a good thing, because I might get to see something.
Wyom Forest, located near Scarborough in the UK, had carried disturbing rumors for decades. Long before stories of cryptids and glowing-eyed creatures began circulating online, locals whispered about something far darker, hidden beneath the trees. Ancient burial mounds were scattered across the woodland, but one story stood above all the others. In 1997, reports surfaced claiming 7 mutilated bodies had been discovered somewhere deep within the forest. The official explanation given to the public was bizarre. Authorities allegedly dismissed the entire incident as a hoax involving mannequins placed in the woods. But according to local rumors, even the undertaker connected to the case privately claimed the number was far higher than 7. And ever since then, people had continued seeing things in Wyom Forest. Large black figures moving between trees, unexplained noises echoing through the woods after dark.
You bastard. A pigeon just flew out of that tree and I absolutely shat my pants. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? I can hear something in the distance. I don't know what it is though.
Creatures described as towering dog-like humanoids with glowing eyes. Gaz knew all of these stories before he entered the forest that night, but according to him, that was exactly why he went.
First, let's go and have a look at these burial mounds, and also where there's been sightings of dogmen. In here is where a dogman was spotted. Over by that steel cage over there, a worker saw a large black figure. He claims that it was around 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and a dog-like muzzle. He stood there in shock for a couple of seconds, and when his friend from the van shouted him, he turned around, and when he turned back, the figure had disappeared. Now, believe it or not, this mound here at the side of the road are prehistoric burial mounds. It's called the 3 Trembler Urns. It's a bit overgrown. You wouldn't think so, just by looking at it.
As evening fell over the woodland, His camera captured the final moments of daylight disappearing through rows of endless trees. The deeper he drove into the forest, the quieter the world became. No traffic, no distant voices, just miles of empty woodland stretching into darkness. At first, he tried keeping the mood light, joking to the camera, talking about local legends. But the deeper he moved into Wyom, the more his tone began changing, because the forest itself felt unnatural.
If my torch has run out of battery now. Fuck's that? I don't like this. Fendi, come here. Fendi, come here. If my torch has died now.
The silence was too complete. Then came the noises. Low rumbling sounds echoed somewhere beyond the trees, not loud enough to identify clearly, but deep enough to vibrate through the ground beneath him. At times it sounded almost mechanical, at others strangely animalistic. Gaz later claimed many of those sounds were barely audible in real time, yet somehow became disturbingly clear once the footage was reviewed afterward. And deep inside Wyom Forest, standing beside ancient burial mounds and endless walls of darkness, Gaz slowly began realizing something terrifying. He no longer felt alone out there.
What was that? What was that? What was that? Come on, torch. I am sure I've just seen something over there. Something moved over there. I'm gonna have to steer. Fendi, stay there.
Whatever was moving through Wyom Forest that night never fully revealed itself on camera, but maybe that makes the footage even more disturbing. Between the unexplained sounds, the strange lights, and the terrifying history buried beneath those woods, Gaz may have stepped into a place locals were never meant to talk about. And if the rumors surrounding those 7 bodies are true, then something inside that forest might still be waiting in the dark, too. The farmhouse didn't want him. CJ Fasson is a paranormal explorer known for one thing above all else: buying cursed land, abandoned properties, and allegedly haunted locations across America, then returning to investigate them alone in the dead of night. Over the years, viewers of his channel had seen everything from abandoned hospitals to isolated desert properties, but one location continued standing above the rest in terms of pure fear: the Pocamoto Ranch, a decaying farmhouse hidden deep within Delaware woods, surrounded by years of disturbing paranormal claims. On March 2nd, 2026, during a brutal winter blizzard, CJ returned there completely alone.
Phew. Yikes. All I will say to everyone is yikes. Tree down here. Tree down there. Oh my gosh. This place is a freaking war zone right now. Tree down here. two really big trees down there. Guys, I really just want to, I'm gonna put my glove on here. I really just want to get to the back there to the farm to kind of assess everything. This one, man, that's a humdinger right in the middle. I don't know where that would have fell from. Obviously a tree, duh. But man.
The storm had already crippled parts of the state. Roads were buried under snow. Trees had collapsed across the property, turning the long driveway leading toward the farmhouse into what looked like a disaster zone. As CJ slowly pushed deeper onto the land, branches scraped violently against his truck while darkness swallowed the woods surrounding him. At first, he tried joking with the camera, but the further he went, the more nervous he became. The ranch had already developed a terrifying reputation online. After multiple investigations captured unexplained voices, moving objects and sightings connected to a figure viewers referred to simply as Annabelle. And that night, with snow covering almost every inch of the property, CJ noticed something deeply unsettling. Footprints, not on the ground, on the roof.
Let me get this.
Let you get what? That's creepy.
Terrorist.
What's that mean?
Frustrate.
Frustrate. Are you frustrated by me being here? Tell me that doesn't look like footprints all the way on the top of the roof. Now, I could be wrong. But that looks like footprints.
As he approached the farmhouse, his flashlight revealed tracks pressed across the snow-covered top of the building itself, leading toward one of the upstairs windows. Moments later, his camera captured what appeared to be a figure standing motionless behind the glass. Annabelle.
Oh, no! Oh, man! Annabelle's in the damn window! Oh my gosh! Get the hell out of here.
CJ immediately froze. The joking stopped completely. Even from outside, the atmosphere around the house felt wrong. The woods had gone silent except for the sound of wind pushing through broken trees nearby. CJ spun instantly toward the darkness. No one was there. Still alone, he began using a spirit communication app near the house, asking questions into the freezing night air. What happened next only made things worse. The app responded with fragmented phrases that seemed strangely aware of his presence. Voices are heard. Stay away. Area of heightened energy. Then, one message made him stop cold. Let's play a game.
What are you frustrated about?
Stuffed animal.
Stuffed animal. What about a stuffed animal? Oh, shit!
Play a game.
F you! Play a game? It said let's play a game. How about no? How about no? The wind's picking up. Hear it? I don't know if y'all can hear that or not.
The deeper he moved around the farmhouse, the more chaotic things became. Strange crashes echoed from inside the building. Doors shifted on their own. At one point, after knocking against a window, the front door suddenly moved from the inside, despite the house being completely abandoned. CJ panicked instantly. His camera shook violently as he stumbled backward through the snow, screaming in terror while reaching for the weapon at his side.
What do you mean by fast? What's fast? Holy dang. Place is a damn disaster zone in here. Why don't y'all start cleaning up stuff instead of trying to scare me all the time, huh? How about that for a concept? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Now you're talking all slow.
Game infested.
Shit, lost the cowboy hat. Oh! You gotta pull it together, you idiot. Oh my gosh. Fast, being infested. What do you mean by that?
And standing alone outside that farmhouse in the middle of a blizzard, CJ admitted something viewers almost never heard from him. For the first time in a long time, he genuinely wanted to leave.
I'm knocking on the window of an abandoned house with spirits in it, trying to piss it off alone in the snow. What could go wrong? Is anybody gonna come to the door and answer or what? Oh! Shit! Nah!
Simulation.
Simulation, what the hell does that mean? Whew. Damn! I'm done with this shit. I'm coming back with Sonny. Hey, I'm coming back with my friend. We're gonna piss y'all the F off, okay?
3. A woman screams in woods. Sam from the Northwest Wind Channel, a stealth camping master and seasoned outdoorsman, had spent years chasing silence in the wild. But on November 7th, 2025, silence turned against him. What began as a calculated decision slowly twisted into something far darker. He was not there for adventure, not this time. The land along the Allegheny River was supposed to be a dream, 15 years in the making. A quiet place, a permanent escape. But as daylight faded behind the ridgelines, the isolation of the property revealed its true weight. Steep terrain, one narrow way in and no easy way out. By nightfall, the forest felt wrong. Inside the truck, the world should have been sealed off. Doors locked, heat running. Phone call steady in his ear. Safe, controlled. But then it started. A sound. Faint at first, easy to dismiss. Then it came again. Longer, sharper. Not wind, not wildlife, but a scream.
Now it's 5:40 and it's dark. Cool. There's a really up noise coming from the woods right now. It sounds like a woman screaming. I was sitting in my front seat with the heated seat on, warming up. It's been dark for a long time now, and it sounds like a woman screaming bloody murder. Listen. Literally, I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell that was, but that has me absolutely terrified. I'm not lying. Literally, I don't want to be here anymore.
It cut through the silence with something disturbingly human behind it. A woman somewhere deep in the woods crying out in raw, desperate agony. The kind of sound that does not belong in nature. The kind that freezes thought before fear even sets in. Sam stopped breathing. Even through the closed windows, even over the hum of the truck, it kept coming. Every few seconds. Closer than it should have been. Realer than it could have been. As he stepped out in the moment he spoke, it stopped. Just like that. No fading, no movement, just gone. The woods went dead silent, but the feeling did not. It clung to him, crawling up his spine. That unmistakable sense of being watched, not from one direction, but all of them.
I don't know what that was. It literally sounded... Hang on, let me get... I feel like I'm being watched right now. This isn't even funny. I was on the phone. Okay, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna lock these doors. And hang on a second. It sounded like somebody was screaming bloody murder. It sounded like a human. It sounded like a woman was being tortured or beaten. I was on the phone with Jessica and I kept hearing it, and I opened my door and it got more severe, like it was more blood curdling. And I literally told her, as I'm picking up the camera to start recording, I said, let me call you right back. And I opened the door and it was really loud and it sounded really close. And now it just stopped. As soon as I got out there and started filming, I had my flashlight. As soon as I started talking, it stopped.
He did not wait. Engine on, lights cutting through darkness, tires slipping down the narrow gravel road as reality set in. If something was out there, there was nowhere to run, not quickly. And still one thought would not leave his mind. That was a human voice.
Are you okay? Hello? Something's right over there. Hello? We're getting out of here.
Minutes later, he made the call. State police. Because some instincts do not ask for proof. They demand action.
Griffin.
Yeah, hi. I'm out in... I was out camping and I heard, I believe it was a woman screaming in great distress.
So where are you, Sam?
I drove back
Road. How far did you travel?
probably a mile in, maybe a little more.
Okay, and then you heard yelling coming from the Allegheny River is there. Do you think somebody along the riverbank?
I don't know. It sounded up, and I was on the phone with my wife with the windows up and the heat on, and I heard a woman screaming. And then I turned the heat up.
What was she screaming?
Just bloody murder.
Okay, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to meet you.
Whatever was out there was enough to make trained men hesitate. And as Sam sat alone watching their lights vanish into the dark, one truth settled in. This was not land you settle on. This was land that warns you. And that night he listened. 4. The sounds outside his tent. On December 20th, 2021, a camping video uploaded by the channel Novice Wild Camper appeared completely normal at first. The title described it as a peaceful final camp of the year in England's Peak District. A quiet overnight stay on White Edge with beautiful views, stretching for miles across the moors. But buried inside the footage was a moment viewers still debate to this day. The camp itself began calmly. As sunset disappeared behind the hills, the empty landscape around White Edge slowly turned black. Miles of open moorland surrounded the area, with almost no signs of civilization visible beyond the distant valleys below. The air was still. No wind, no movement, just silence hanging over the peaks.
Here we are. Some lovely views. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or doing it justice. Got some low mist down there in the valleys. I've seen a lot of people go, ooh, cloud inversion. It's low mist, it's not a cloud inversion. The sky's a beautiful colour. don't think this is picking the moon up. There's a lovely pink sky over there. And the moon just up there, but can't see it on the screen.
At first, the camper focused on ordinary things, setting up his shelter, making coffee, talking casually to the camera while temperatures dropped deeper into the night. But as darkness settled fully over the Peak District, the atmosphere around the camp began changing.
So, there's a 5-degree difference, which is a fair bit. No doubt, when it gets a lot colder, it make hopefully a bigger difference. But it'd be interesting to just sort of see how that compares and whether it does make a difference to the batteries or not. And whether they last overnight or at least keep their charge for a bit longer than normal. But there you go. Anyway, my noodles are done. You do get a decent amount of these things. For 75p, you can't beat it. I'm going to eat these, and I'm not going to force you to endure watching me do it, so I'll see you in a bit.
Then, sometime after midnight, the camera captured something far stranger. While sitting alone inside the tent, he suddenly stopped speaking mid-sentence. Somewhere outside, beyond the darkness surrounding camp, a deep guttural noise echoed across the hillside. At first, it sounded almost animal-like, but not quite. The sound was low, uneven, and unnervingly human in tone. Not the sharp bark of a fox, not the call of a deer. It carried through the freezing air in long, strained bursts that seemed to come from nowhere specific at all. The camper immediately noticed it too. His voice changed instantly.
Right, so I've heard deer, I've heard foxes make some really weird noises at night. But I don't know if you heard that. I'm not sure if the camera picked it up, but God knows what it is. It's quite a weird guttural sound. I'll try and boost it on the edit, see if you can.
For several seconds, he stayed completely silent, listening as the noise echoed again somewhere beyond the tent walls. Later, while reviewing the footage, he admitted he had never heard anything like it before during any previous camp. And the stranger part was what happened after. The noises stopped completely. No footsteps, no movement, no explanation, just silence returning to the hills as if nothing had ever been there at all. The next morning, the landscape looked peaceful again beneath the sunrise. Clear skies, open valleys, quiet hills stretching endlessly into the distance. But throughout the rest of the video, the camper repeatedly mentioned those sounds from the night before, unable to explain what had produced them.
Let's see if you can hear it, because that is really weird. Did you hear that? That's quite eerie. It does not sound like a deer. Definitely doesn't sound like a fox. Odd. Right, I'm going to zip up and put my earplugs in, I think. Try and get some sleep, and hopefully I'll still be here in the morning.
And for many viewers watching afterward, that single moment transformed an ordinary camping trip into something deeply unsettling. Because whatever made those noises out on White Edge Moor that night never revealed itself on camera. That night changed everything about how this place is seen. What started as a simple camping trip turned into something no one can fully explain or ignore. The forest felt different, the silence felt heavier, and the moments in between felt wrong. If this experience unsettled you, there is plenty more waiting. Subscribe for more real encounters, share your thoughts below, and stay tuned for the next unexplained story from the wild.